Are you part of the 1/3 of Americans that rent? What happens if there is a fire, a flood, or your stuff was robbed? Is your stuff protected, or are you just screwed?
Hey, I'm Alex.
And I'm Philip.
And we teach you what you need to know about your personal finances using words that you can understand without boring you to death.
Because adulting shouldn't suck. If you're new to our channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and in the comments below, let us know with that nerd emoji if you're ready to get learned.
In this episode, we're going to talk about the importance of renter's insurance and why you need it. I needed it more than once. First time was my apartment got flooded out, and we had to replace almost all my stuff. And then the second time, after I moved out of that apartment, which was on the 3rd story, down to the 1st story, within a week, somebody must have been scoping us, because as we moved into the new place, we got robbed. Somebody literally took a steel chair and threw it through my kitchen window and robbed all my stuff. And I had to get it all replaced.
Was that in Vegas?
No,
That was
here.
Mm.
Yeah, sucks. But because I had renter's insurance, I got it all back. Well, I didn't get the stuff back, but I got money, and I got to go buy new stuff.
Yeah.
That's why you need it.
Doesn't get them grandma pictures back, but... While apartment complexes and landlords will have their own insurance, their insurance only covers their building. So if there was a flood, a fire, or some sort of accident where their building was damaged, their insurance would only cover their building and not your personal property inside of that building.
So what do you do about all your stuff? Is it just gone forever? Well, yeah. But if you got renter's insurance, at least you can get some money and go buy some new stuff.
Yeah. Oh my God. What's renter's insurance? Hair flip.
Renter's insurance is literally what it sounds like. Insurance for renters. If you want to get technical, it's a form of homeowner's insurance, also known as HO4.
HO4.
I think HO4 sounds better. So anyways.
Whatever.
Renter's insurance covers you for all your crap, whether it's in your house or you're around the world. So like if you're traveling and you lose your luggage, it still covers that too.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
We actually legitimately did just learn that.
Yeah, looked it up for this video. All the little extra details about homeowners insurance. Maybe we, didn't want to miss something.
Renter's insurance.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Luggage. Didn't know.
If you're renting somewhere that you don't own, or if you're renting out a room from somebody, renter's insurance is for you. Renter's insurance costs anywhere from $100 to $150 a year.
That's like 10 or 15 bucks a month.
And it covers all of your personal belongings from things like fires, floods, and thefts. Renter's insurance is required by most apartment complexes these days, and you need to have proof of renter's insurance upon moving into that property now. So keep that in mind.
Gotta have it. Renter's insurance policies have 2 main areas. Property coverage, which covers your stuff at your property, and loss of use of residence. Liability coverage covers if you started the fire or started the flood or whatever damaged the property, and it also covers medical payments for guests you have over if they get hurt at your place.
Property coverage covers your personal property. The amount of property coverage that you need is going to be dependent on you and how much property you own. Your personal property is going to be things like your clothes, your electronics, and your furniture. The average 18 to 21-year-old has $20,000 in personal property coverage, but that amount could change depending on how much property you own.
Pro tip, if you've got something really expensive in your apartment like a MacBook Pro or an engagement ring or a wedding ring,
because you fell in love in high school,
then for an extra fee, you can add that onto your renter's insurance for extra coverage for those expensive items. Second pro tip, there's replacement cost and then there's actual cost value for coverage on renter's insurance. Don't ever, ever, ever choose actual cash value. Always choose replacement cost. Say your MacBook Pro did get stolen, right? What does that thing cost you? $1,500, $2,000 or more, depending on whichever one you buy. It depreciates over time, and you get that depreciated value for actual cash value. So say you've had it for 5 years, and now it's only worth $500. Well, they give you $500, you can't go buy another MacBook Pro with that. Actual
go get
cash
a Toshiba.
value. You what?
Gotta go get a Toshiba.
Yeah, that ain't the same. So actual cash value sucks versus replacement cost. They give you enough money to go buy a brand new MacBook Pro, not a Toshiba.
It's going to make your renter's policy cost go up a little bit more, but we're only talking like maybe $1 or $2 extra a month for you to get that extra money coverage.
Be cheap, but don't be that cheap. Pay that extra dollar. So we got some friends that went on vacation, and while they're on a vacation, their car got broken into in San Francisco, and they filed a claim with their auto insurance. And while they're on the phone, the insurance agent was like, oh, hey, we see you don't have renter's insurance. Would you like to add that? Thankfully, they said yes, because while they were gone for a couple of weeks on a road trip, a pipe burst in their townhouse upstairs, and because they were gone for so long, it ruined everything upstairs, leaked all the way downstairs, so it ruined everything in the house. If they didn't have renter's insurance, they would have been on the hook for that entire bill. All of their stuff was ruined. They would have had to replace it out of pocket. But because that insurance agent recommended getting renter's insurance to them and they paid the extra 10 or 15 bucks, everything was covered.
So let's say your situation isn't as dramatic, but a flood happens in your house and it ruins your entire wardrobe. So what you have to do to file a renter's insurance claim, you have to take a good educated estimate on what your wardrobe costs to replace, and then you have to tell the insurance company what you think it's going to cost to replace your clothes, and then they're going to send you that money minus your deductible. So let's say it's going to cost you $1,000 to replace your wardrobe, but your deductible's $250, so the insurance company is going to send you a check for $750. Now your deductible could be higher or lower. Typically, the higher the deductible, the lower your monthly payment, and then the lower the deductible, the higher the monthly payment. But let's say that happened and you had a higher deductible, but a lower monthly payment. Now you got $500 or something that is your deductible, and then we're going to take that at $1,000. Now you only get $500. So it's all kind of pick or choosing what you want, what's best for you.
Pro tip number 3. If you want to get your stuff paid for, you got to have proof that you actually had it in the first place. Most people don't keep receipts for everything, and that's what the insurance companies really want, is a receipt. The next best option is a picture or a video. Now, what happens if you kept all your pictures on your computer for some reason and your computer got ruined in a fire? Now you have no proof because everything got burned up. The smartest option is upload that to some kind of cloud or a private folder on Facebook that nobody sees except for you, or wherever you want to put it. Some kind of storage online that it's safe no matter what. If your phone breaks, it's not on your phone. That way you have picture or video evidence that you actually had possession of those items and you get them paid for.
Finally, being bougie on Facebook and Instagram has its perks.
What?
Yeah, because they're taking pictures of themselves being all pretty with their stuff that they just bought.
Oh, you know what? That's actually true. So when I had to use renter's insurance, I didn't have pictures of all my stuff, but I did have pictures from when I had some parties at my apartment. And in the background, you can see my snowboard and my laptop and all the other stuff that those freaking jerks jacked. So I turned those in, and yeah, it's like, you know, it's pictures of a party, but I like circled the items, and I got them paid for.
Property coverage, loss of residence.
So that story I told you about our friends where their apartment flooded or their townhouse flooded, yeah, they had to live in a hotel for 3 months while everything got fixed. Thankfully, renter's insurance under loss of use of residence paid for the entire thing. Covers up to $6,000 a year.
On average. I mean, it could be more or less depending on your policy that you can customize yourself, but $6,000 a year is probably just fine. Section 2 of your renter's insurance policy, personal liability coverage. So let's say you're going to take a bath, you turned on the water, and you left it running, and you forgot about it, and you flooded out the apartment below you. You ruined all their stuff and all their clothes. But again, you got renter's insurance. So here's where personal liability comes into play. Because when the apartment complex or the landlord comes after you to pay for all those repairs or pay for all that person's belongings, your renter's insurance policy will cover you. and it will pay for those repairs, and it'll pay to replace those personal belongings. So you're good to go.
Lastly, renter's insurance also covers medical payments for guests that you have over that get hurt in your place. If you get hurt, it doesn't cover you. You need to have your own personal medical insurance to cover your own bills. But the medical payments will cover your guests, not you. Remember that? So if you don't have medical insurance, make sure to let us know. We'll enlist you in the National Guard and get you some of that cheap health insurance. Less than $50 a month.
Oh yeah. Nowadays, renter's insurance is required by most apartments and landlords in order for you to rent from them. It used to not be that way, and even if renter's insurance isn't required, it's cheap enough and it provides enough coverage to where the extra $10 to $20 a month is worth that extra security and having your stuff covered. Alex, where does somebody get renter's insurance from?
Typically, you get it through whoever you got your car insurance through, right? You just tack it on, 10 or 15 bucks a month extra, good to go. But you can also buy it separately, and you can go through any different insurance company to do that. But I highly recommend that you go online and check out the reviews to see if they're a good company or not. I've used 2 different ones. One of them sucked and was horrible to deal with, and the other one made the whole process super easy.
Yeah. Sometimes they like to blame you and say it's your fault and they're not going to do anything. And it's going to say that in the reviews, you know, on how they handle their processes or how they handle their claims. So make sure you check that out.
True. Some insurance companies want your money, but they don't want to pay your money out. They make it real difficult. So do your due diligence, check it out online, see if they suck or not.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. And in the comments below, let us know if our video helped you decide on whether or not you need renter's insurance.
And if you got roommates, make sure they're covered too, and share this video with them.